Good morning all. Good morning all. In today we shall discuss the second topic in module 5 is reservoirs. Reservoirs or dams. Reservoirs or dam. What is reservoirs? Reservoirs are nothing but a medium to store the water. It is also called as artificial lake. Reservoir or dams is a barrier constructed to store the water. It is a barrier constructed to store the water. Jawaharlal Nehru once said, dams and reservoirs are the modern days temples. Modern days temples. For the construction of reservoir or dams, it requires huge amount of money. Huge amount of money is required. So, at present scenario, we can say for construction on reservoir requires approximately a budget of the state. Budget of the state amount of money, whatever the money involved for a 1 year budget of the state, it requires for the construction of reservoir that much amount of money is required. And another thing, for the maintenance cost of the reservoir is usually it will go around hundreds of crores. Usually for KRS, they are going to spend for the maintenance of KRS reservoir, they are going to spend around 50 crores, 100 crores every year. For the construction of reservoir or the dams, here first we need to investigate the reservoir or investigate the area. Here we need to investigate the area. Investigation of reservoir site. How you are going to investigate the reservoir site? First one is you are going to investigate by using 3 methods. Engineering, investigation. The second one is geological investigation. The third one is hydrological investigation. We are going to investigate based on 3 methods. One is engineering investigation, the second one is geological investigation, and the third one is hydrological investigation. What is engineering investigation? Whether the proposed site, whether it is suitable for construction of reservoir or dam, whether the soil strata or the rock strata is hard enough, all these things you are going to consider. In engineering investigation, we are going to conduct some of the surveys of the dam site and water storing area or reservoir area. Which type of survey you are going to conduct? You are going to conduct triangulation survey. Here we are going to take the horizontal distance, vertical distance, horizontal angle, vertical angles, all these things you are going to measure at the construction site, whether it may be at the dam site or whether it may be at the reservoir site. And at the dam site, you are going to prepare a contour plan for a scale of 1:250 to 1:500 scale. 1:500 scale at an interval of 1 meter. For every 1 meter interval, we are going to take the contour at the dam site. And the scale of the contour is 1:250 to 1:500. This you are going to take up to, in upstream side, you are going to take up to 200 meter, and in downstream side we are going to take up to 400 meter distance at the dam side. For this distance we are going to take the contour for up to 200 meters in the upstream side and 400 meters at the downstream side, and at the reservoir side. And at the reservoir is nothing but the water storing capacity of the dam. You are going to take the scale of 1:15,000. You are going to take the scale of 1:15,000 for an interval of 2 to 3 meter contour interval. 2 to 3 meter contour interval. All these things you are going to take it in engineering investigation. Engineering investigation is also called as engineering survey. One is we are going to make some of the basic surveys like triangulation. We are going to measure the horizontal angles, vertical angles, horizontal distance, lateral distance. All these things we are going to measure. And at the dam side, we are going to take the triangulation survey for a scale of 1:250 and 1:500. In upstream side, we are going to cut the data for up to 200 meter distance, and at the downstream side, we are going to take up to 400 meter distance or 400 meters cross section for an interval of 1 meter. At the reservoir side, we are going to take the scale of 1:15,000, and the interval of the contour plan is for every 2 to 3 meter distance. We are going to take the contour interval, because in the upstream side the water storing capacity is very large. It is also called as sometimes it is called as artificial lake. So if you want to cover that all that areas, the contour interval should be increased. If we decrease the contour interval, the number of contour lines may also increase, and it consumes more time to draw the contour. To reduce that, we can change the contour interval from 2 to 3 meter contour interval, and we can plot the contour. Next, what is geological investigation? Geology, the name itself indicates, we are going to study the profile, whether the soil profile or the rock profile, how hard the soil is, how hard the rock is, whether it is suitable for construction of reservoir or dams, or what are the problems that we are going to encounter at that construction site, whether there is any faults, folds, whether the rocks are fractured from. All these things you are going to study in the geological investigation. We are going to study about the soil type, rock type, minerals present in and around the dams or in and around the reservoirs. All these things you are going to take under the geological. And in geological investigation, suitability of foundation, whether the foundation is suitable at this particular area, which type of foundation is to be selected, all these things we are going to study under geological investigation. Hydrological investigation, for how much area we can supply the water, for how much number of people we can supply the water, and in upstream side for how much area the water can be stored. All these things can be understood in hydrological investigation, whether the runoff pattern from where the water is collected into the dam and the outflow water where it will reach it, all these things we are going to study it under hydrological investigation. And we are also going to study how much amount of evaporation, evapotranspiration and infiltration that are going to occur at that particular construction site, whether the dam is at the somewhat and we are going to also study the maximum discharge. What is the maximum discharge we can release from the dam or the reservoir, maximum discharge. All these things can be studied in the hydrological investigation. The next topic is selection of site for the reservoir. The next concept is selection of site for the reservoir. For the construction of dam or reservoir, we need to select a site very properly. If we select the site very properly, it will affect the construction cost, all these things, all the properties will get affected by selection of site. So, the selection of site is one of the important parameter in construction of dams Okay. There are several important factors while selecting the dam. One is the storage capacity should be large. The storage capacity should be large with maximum storage capacity. Maximum storage capacity. It should store, whether the dam or the reservoir should store more amount of water. More amount of water. If more amount of water is stored, it has many advantages. We can supply it for more irrigation purpose or more agriculture purpose, or we can generate more hydroelectric power. By using some of the turbines and all, we can generate more amount of power. You all know that Three Gorges Dam in China, it will produce around 24,000 kilowatt, whereas in case of India, the maximum power generation is only 2000 or 2200 kilowatt. Okay, if the storage capacity is more, it will be helpful for both agriculture industry as well as it also increases the economy of the people. Next, suitable site for dam. Suitable site for dams. Which type of site is more suitable, such that the length of the dam should be less and it should be narrow, and the dam should be somewhat in valley portion. It should be somewhat in valley portion. Dam should be somewhat in valley portion, and it should have good foundation. One is the length of the dam should be minimum, and the dam side should be narrow enough. It should not be broad enough. It should be narrow enough. If the dam side is narrow enough, it will store more amount of water. Next, it should be somewhat in valley portion, and it should have good foundation. Good foundation means somewhat like it should possess like good soil or good rocks such as granite, gneiss, schist, all these things. And water tightness of the dam. Water tightness of the dam means it should be usually impervious. It should not be more pervious. Water tightness means somewhat like the rocks present near the dam side are such as granite, gneiss, schist. All these things are, if all these minerals or rock minerals are present at that construction site, it will have more water tightness, it will be more impervious. Next, good hydrological condition. Good hydrological condition means you should have maximum discharge, and it should undergo less evapotranspiration, and it should undergo less infiltration. Next, the reservoir should be deep. The depth of the reservoir should be deep enough. Deep enough is nothing but it is also somewhat like if the depth of the reservoir is less, then the evapotranspiration will be more. If the depth of the reservoir is more, E and evapotranspiration will be low. So the depth of the reservoir should be more. Small submerged area. Small submerged area means for every 5 to 10 years at any one particular year, the amount of rainfall will be more. At any one particular year, the amount of rainfall will be more. At that time, there is chances of occurring flood. At that time, what will happen? Some of the area will get submerged. The area of submersion should be usually small. If the area of submergence is large, it will affect the ecology. It will affect the ecology, it will affect the surrounding people, or it will affect the surrounding plants, animals, it will affect the ecology. So usually the submerged area, the dam should be less, should not affect the ecology, or it should not affect the surrounding peoples, or should not affect the surrounding people's agriculture. Now let us consider near the dam I have grown in 10 acres of sugar cane, and let us consider in 2021 there is a huge amount of rainfall. It leads to flood. At that time, all my 10 acres is flooded with water. At that time, I have lost my 10 acres of sugar cane. It is also one of the loss now. So the submergence area should be minimum as far as possible. Minimum silt inflow. Usually in every dams there is certain amount of silt deposits will undergo, but during the flood what will happen, huge amount of silt inflow takes place and it is going to deposit into the dam. Every year they will undergo, during summer season, desilting process will be takes place. Desilting process will be takes place. Usually for a dam, minimum silt inflow should occur. Minimum silt deposit should occur or should deposit. No objectionable minerals. What is no objectionable minerals? It should be free from soluble and objectionable salts. It should be free from soluble and objectionable salts. From soluble and objectionable salts. Next one is minimum construction cost. Usually, as I said in the beginning, usually the construction cost of the dam is usually, it is approximately equal to the budget of the state. Usually the construction cost should be minimum as far as possible. If the length of the dam is less, automatically the construction cost will be automatically, it will reduce, and it should undergo minimum land acquisition. While constructing a dam, huge amount of area has been acquired by the government in terms of land acquisition. So such that while constructing a dam, we should have a proper idea that the minimum land acquisition has to be undergone. It should not affect the life of the people or life of the surrounding environment. All these things are to be considered while selecting the dam site or considering the reservoir site. It is also one of the important concepts. One is large storage capacity, suitable site for dam, water tightness of the dam, good hydrological condition, deep reservoir, small submerged areas, minimum silt inflow into the dam, no objectionable minerals such as salts or any injurious minerals should not present at the dam sites. Minimum construction cost, usually the construction cost should be minimum as far as possible, and minimum land acquisition should be there. The next topic is storage zones of reservoir. Storage zones of reservoir. The next important topic is storage zones of reservoir. Storage zones of reservoir is nothing but in reservoir or in dam how the water is stored in various forms the water is stored. What is that? Live storage. Live storage or useful water. It is also called as useful water. It is also called as useful water. What is live storage? You all know that minimum pool level, full supply level, maximum water level, or it is also called as top bund level. Okay. What is live storage? Live storage is nothing but minimum pool level or minimum water level to full supply level. From year to year the depth of water is called as live storage. Live storage is nothing but it is used for our daily needs. It is used for our daily needs such as agricultural purpose or for industrial purpose or for hydroelectric power generation or for drinking water purpose. All these things you are going to use the live storage water. Live storage water is nothing but it is the water level from full supply level to minimum pool level or up to the dead storage level. The next one is surcharge storage. What is surcharge storage? Whatever the water that is stored above the full supply line or above the maximum water level line, it is called as surcharge storage. Usually you all know that in extensive survey you all studied full supply line, maximum water level, top bund level. Usually from full supply level to maximum water level you are going to provide approximately 1 meter or 1.5 meter, 2 meter max. It is nothing but extra water. The excess water will overflow from the crest of the dam, it will overflow from the crest portion of the dam. The surcharge water can be either used for, one is for flood control and another one is for conservation storage. We are going to use this surcharge water for one thing is for flood control, another thing is for conservation storage. We are going to use the surcharge storage water. It is above the full supply level and below the maximum water level. Next one is dead storage. What is dead storage? Whatever the water level below the minimum pool level, it is called as dead storage. It is not used for any purpose. Either it is not used for drinking, either it is not used for agriculture, or either it is not used for industrial purpose. It is only used for the minimum water level that has to be present in the dam. That water level is called as dead water level. It has many uses such as whatever the fishes or whatever the animals or whatever the species that are present at the dam, to leave that to survival of that fishes or the survival of, it is the minimum water level at which for the survival of fish and for the survival of the dam, minimum water level has to be kept. That water level is called as dead storage. At sometimes due to heavy drought in KRS we have used some of the water from dead storage also. The water has been pumped out from the dead storage and we have used it for drinking purpose. Maybe around 2013 or 2012 we are facing heavy drought. There was no rainfall for 2 to 3 years. At that time I have used the water from the dead storage also for drinking purpose. Next one is bank storage. Bank storage, it is nothing but the water stored in the banks of the reservoirs. Because The length of the reservoir is very much large. Whatever the water stored in the reservoir is called as banks of the reservoir. Usually the banks of the reservoir should be minimum. If the banks of the reservoir is minimum, it is impervious. If the banks of the reservoir is more, it is called as pervious. Next one is valley storage. Valley storage. Valley storage is nothing but, valley storage is the volume of water held in the rivers up to the top level of the banks before construction of reservoir. Before construction of the reservoir, in the valley portion up to the top portion, we are going to store the water. That portion is called as valley portion or valley storage. Before construction of the dam or before construction of the reservoir, there is some valley portion. Up to the top point of the valley, the water is stored. That portion is called as valley storage. There are 5 types of storage. One is live storage, surcharge storage, dead storage, bank storage and valley storage. These are the storage zones of the reservoirs. Okay, thank you.